Hey everyone, it's triplemangothreat, and today we're talking about Xyris, the Writhing Storm. If you love to draw a huge amount of cards, make a huge amount of tokens, and then eventually overwhelm our opponents with those tokens, this is the deck for you. Let's jump right into it. Our commander is Xyris, the Writhing Storm. For 2 green, blue, and a red, we have a 3/5 Snake Leviathan with flying. Whenever an opponent draws a card except the first one they draw, in each of their draw steps, create a 1/1 green snake creature token. Whenever Xyris deals combat damage to a player, you and that player each draw that many cards. So the plan is to have everybody drawing a lot of cards, but it's really beneficial when our opponents draw cards because we're making tokens off of that. We can make everybody draw a lot of cards with cards like Dictative Crewfix, Well of Ideas, Howling Mine, and Font of Mythos. Now remember, we have to exclude the first card they're drawing at each of their draw steps. So if we do that and we have all of these on the battlefield, they're drawing 5 cards excluding that first one. So this is 5 snakes we're making each opponent's turn. If we have 3 opponents and this goes around one time, we make 15 1/1 green snakes. So this can be a very powerful thing to be doing. We can also increase the amount of combat damage dealt to each other player with Edric Spymaster of Trest. So whenever a creature deals combat damage to one of your opponents, its controller may draw a card. So this is encouraging our opponents to hit our other opponent. So as long as they're not hitting us, they're drawing cards, and because they're drawing cards, we get to make more tokens. So it's a win-win until they realize we're going to win with them. Another weird card that we usually don't use is Glade Muse. It's a creature that lets players draw cards whenever they cast spells that's not on their turn. So whenever someone does a counter spell on someone else's turn, they're drawing a card, and that means we're making a snake. Humble Defector. When we tap Humble Defector, we can draw 2 cards, and then we're going to give that to an opponent. If they tap Humble Defector, they're drawing 2 cards, we're making 2 snakes, and they're giving that to another opponent, and hopefully we can make even more snakes. Rites of Flourishing. Hopefully they don't notice at first, but this is going to let them play an additional land, but also it's going to have them draw an additional card. So that means we're making another snake, they get to play an additional land, but ultimately we're going to get the most benefit out of this. Next we're talking about Skyscribing and Fascination. This is sort of a one-time thing where each player is going to draw X cards. So if we have a huge amount of mana, we can put a lot of that into this, and we're going to make a bunch of snake creature tokens. The cool thing about Skyscribing is that we can actually pay its forecast cost, which is pay a 2 and a blue, we can reveal it from our hand, and then each player is going to draw a card, but we can only activate this at our upkeep and once per turn. We do have some wheels in the deck, which means pretty much we discard our hand and draw so many cards, but I didn't want to make that the main focus of the deck, so we're going to have cards like Windfall, Magus of the Wheel, and Dragon Mage. Like I said, each player discards their hand, they're going to draw a certain amount of cards. I didn't want to make this the main focus of the deck because that can get really annoying. Like, you just draw your hand, it looks great, and then we're discarding it again and drawing a new hand. So instead, we only have a few of these, and then our commander's also promoting whenever it deals combat damage to a player, us and that player are drawing cards. So it's not as mean as some decks can be. One of the cards that is really good in removal is Nin the Pain Artist. We can use her ability where we pay X blue and red, we tap Nin, it deals X damage to target creature, and that creature's controller draws X cards. So we can take care of one of their creatures and also have them draw X cards, which actually means we make that many 1/1 green snake creature tokens. With all the tokens that we're making, I really have to recommend Impact Tremors. It's an enchantment that says whenever a creature enters the battlefield under our control, Impact Tremors is going to deal 1 damage to each opponent. So that means whenever we're making those 5 1/1 green snake creature tokens on one opponent's turn, each opponent is losing 5 life. Make that go around one turn, each opponent has lost 15 life in one turn just by us making tokens, which is what the deck naturally wants to do. So this card fits right in and was an easy include. So how do we win the game? Well, we can do this with End-Raze Forerunners. When it enters the battlefield, other creatures we control get +2/+2, Gade Vigilance, and Trample. And we can also find End-Raze Forerunners with cards like Fierce Empath. When it enters the battlefield, we can search for a creature card with converted mana cost 6 or greater, put it into our hand. So that's another way we're going to grab our win con. And then we have Overwhelming Stampede. It's going to give our creatures +X/+X, where X is the greatest power among creatures we control, which if we have our commander, we're making those snakes 4/4s, they have trample, and we're going to be dealing a lot of damage. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. It was a lot of fun making this. I personally love to draw a lot of cards, so it was really easy making this deck. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button, comment below what you think of this deck, and subscribe for more Mango content. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.